This is my week 2 FMP video journal. I wrote less pointers this time, so hopefully I'm not just rambling incoherently for the whole video. But let's start with Monday, 9th of March. So I was working on the I Love Speed cover, I Love Weed, and I kept adjusting the sounds of everything. I wrote down that I was adjusting the sound of the pre-chorus drums and just adjusting the levels. The vocals were out of key in one of the verses. So the part goes like, when I was a little girl, I was always jumping. And I guess I just sang that really horribly. So to fix that, to not keep that horrible take in the song, I chopped it and I merged it with the verse from earlier. There's 2 verses, so I just sang the exact same part. And I took the start of one of them and the end of the other one and put them together and then I copy and pasted it for both verses. So, yeah. I got feedback from Mark. He listened to it and he said it was really good. He was just glazing it. He said I could get signed with it. And he was surprised that I didn't pick production. So now I'm kind of thinking over my whole life choices. But yeah, he didn't have any feedback, I guess. Didn't have any negative feedback, things I could improve on, I guess. So that's great. It means it's perfect and I'm the best producer in the world. And I also started a new song. I sampled a clip from my favourite movie, Freddy Got Fingered. It's this bit where basically the main character of Gordy he wants to be an animator and he makes a pilot, a trailer or something for this animated show called Zebras in America. So it plays the animated clip in the movie, and I downloaded that off YouTube and I put the clip at the end of the clip. I took the end of the clip that goes Zebras in America and I just put it at the start of the song, and it has this and I wanted to have that and then just have digital hardcore kind of gritty drums and stuff after that. So I didn't write down anything about me making the drums for the song, so I'm just gonna see what I remember. I got a sample from, I think I just got another drum break pack. Yeah, I think I downloaded a drum break pack. I put one of the breaks into Quick Sampler and I did the drum beat in the MIDI grid section. The grid. I just placed the notes in the grid instead of chopping up the audio file, and it was a complex beat. It was a strange beat. I think I showed it to Mark and he said that it was kind of like jungle but not really jungle. It's a different thing. So yeah, I really haven't listened to electronic stuff until this project. I mean, I have, but never really got that into it. I've always preferred real instruments, music with real instruments. So I don't really know about jungle and stuff like that, and digital hardcore takes from a lot of those genres. So I feel I'll have to research that, or at least just listen to some, look into it and see what the drum breaks actually sound like instead of just doing it off the top of my head. I mean, that would make it more original and it would, be purely from my brain without any influences, but it low-key sounds like shit, so I don't know. I wasn't that happy with it. And I flipped back and I kept adjusting the I love weed things and going back and I don't know, but the drums glitched. That's what I wrote drum glitched. I'm trying to remember. Oh, basically the drum beat it changed to just one drum for some reason, and it was all like pitched. Sounded really weird. Didn't know what happened, but how did I fix it? Oh, I had to put the sample in again, I'm pretty sure. So that was kind of long, but problem solving skills, technology skills as well, for finding out what the problem was. I feel like I could have done more that day. It doesn't look like I've done a lot, but I think Monday is a short day, so fair enough, I guess. Think to improve what I did, could have looked for some inspiration before starting the Zebras in America track, so that I could actually know what I'm doing, have an idea of where to start, because it's kind of daunting starting a new song with no idea, because that's kind of what I've been doing. Just been opening the Logic file and just being like, well, let me chop up a break. But I still, I don't really know how to chop up a break, but I'm gonna get to that. I have an update about that. But that's at the end of the week. Okay, next. 10th March, Tuesday. I showed I Love Weed to Ryan. And I told him that, Mark just said really nice things, so I wanna, hear the hard truth about it. He said he preferred my sequencer drum tone, so the drums for the verses, he prefers how I did it compared to the original. And he said the vocals that I did were really close to the original as well. And it's a good representation of the OG song. The feedback I got to improve it was to clean up the transition to the pre-chorus with automation. This is when the verse sequencer drum beat kind of like glitches at the end, and then it goes into like the chopped up break in the pre-chorus, and the tones are very different. The pre-chorus bit, it's like more thin, it's more quiet, and like it sounds like, but the verse sounds like I don't know any technical words, especially relating to production stuff, so that's all that you're gonna get, I guess. So I did clean up the transition. He told me to like kind of fade out the audio and fade it in for when it starts, so that it's like a cleaner transition, it doesn't sound as jarring. I did that and I think it helped a little bit, but I also have like just been editing like the tones and everything, the sounds, the levels, so I just kept improving how it sounds. Then after that, I recorded my second vocals. I recorded my friend Harry in the studio with help from Phil. With my vocals, Noyes did it, but this time he was busy doing work, and we just went in, and Phil set it up. He told me how to do it. He told us, I guess, but yeah. It's like the big desk with all the knobs. The vocals were linked to like channel 23 and 24, I think, and I learned how to use, how to just like, I don't know, I just learned how to record some vocals in. That's basically what I learned, and I was speaking through the thing. There was a button and there was a mic I could speak through, just did levels, gain. It was pretty simple, but I'm really glad that I learned that. That's a new skill that I learned from this project. studio recording of vocals specifically. Recording Harry was really quick. We just did like 2 takes and then an additional take of the shout at the start of the song. He had the lyrics on his phone but still messed up anyway. In some parts, just like stopped singing. I think to improve I should have done another take, but I think it still came out pretty good. And then I went back into the Mac suite to start mixing up all the vocals. I think mixing only my vocals was already difficult, but adding another one was, I think, even more difficult because I don't know like how the levels should be, if we should be like the same or one of us should be quieter. I ended up doing him a little bit quieter than mine because in the verses he was louder, but in the choruses he was quieter. But I didn't want to add automation to like adjust this because that would mean I'd have to adjust the automation every single time I wanted to adjust the volume, and I was adjusting the volume a lot. I was very indecisive. But because of the automation I added for the transition, adjusting the level of the sequencer drum beat was really annoying. It's like, I think it's louder than everything in the song. I don't know if it is anymore because I've finished it now, but then it was just booming louder than everything else, but I think I fixed that. I added compression to everything, which made everything not ear-piercingly loud, but it still was really loud. Also just makes... Someone told me to add compression. I think it was Noyes or Mark told me to add compression to the vocals because the level... I think it was Noyes. The levels of the vocals were like fluctuating too much. So to keep them even, compression. And I showed Mark and he added a limiter and multi-compressor and also adjusted the compression that I added on the vocals because I think mine was a bit too loud or distorted. So this day was quite productive, I think. Recorded the vocals finally, got feedback from both Mark and Ryan. Come closer to finishing the song, learned a new skill, and showed my skills in mixing, I guess. I was actually supposed to do a workshop on mixing that week. I think I scheduled it, but it never happened, and I kind of don't want it anymore. Across my whole college experience, I've never got a workshop, because I just think I don't need them. I feel like I can learn everything myself. I feel like I'm already kind of behind. I feel like taking time out of my lesson to do a workshop is kind of a waste of time for me, especially because I don't really do any work at home, which is a problem that is starting to arise. But yeah, overall that was a good day. Finally, Thursday 12th of March. I don't have much for this day because I think I didn't do that much. Okay, I guess I kept mixing the song, just adjusting everything, and I think it was finished, I wanted to master it, and on the side of Logic, there's these 2 bars. One of them is for like each individual track and you can add effects and choose the instrument, whatever, and there's another one for the whole track. You can add effects on the whole track, you can add whatever, and there's a little button that says mastering. So I just pressed that thinking that's where the mastering is. But it's actually an AI mastering tool, I think. So it just came up with this like pop-up window that it was like a mastering preset, and it sounded pretty good, and I could just adjust it a little bit, and like knobs or whatever, and there was an EQ, and yeah, it was done. I think I adjusted it a little bit more, and I finished my song. The AI mastering is very quick and efficient. I showed Noyes, and he was like, oh, he told me to like just put EQ on the master and something else maybe. I don't remember, I didn't write it down. But he definitely said EQ on the master, that's how he does it. So I might do that for next time, but to be honest, the AI mastering thing it sounded pretty good. I feel like it is better than whatever I would have done by hand. So it's also a time-saving tool, so I'm probably going to keep using it. If I make more music on Logic outside of college, then I'll probably just do it by hand. But this, I need to finish it in a certain time frame, so I need to actually just grind it out. I showed Mark, he said it's a near professional mix, the frequency levels are good. He said like, he pulled up the mastering EQ. Oh no. There was this thing on Logic, I don't remember the name, but it was like a EQ thing, maybe, and it just showed like the levels of the whole song. And he said it was like a not perfect, but good. It's like what it's supposed to be. The mids are like the highest one, and then the treble and bass are kind of below, but none of them were like too high or too low, so it was great. He said the vocals stand out in the mix. It sounded much better than when I last showed him, and he said I found my calling. So there we go. Then after I finished the song, I replayed it a few times. Had to push it away and work on something original, which is what I've always struggled with. In the other projects, when I was on instruments, writing songs was always the hardest part, especially in bands. I wouldn't really contribute, to be honest. But I don't know, I've always just liked doing covers. It's way easier, and it's also just fun. Making my own music is kind of daunting, and I think I'm too critical about what I make as well. So first I searched for samples on YouTube in the Sharpshooter 3D soundtrack, which is a game that I really like. It's about, you have to you just kill everyone basically, and it's set in Russia, and there's police, there's like an uprising going on, there's like communists, there's like scary like witches and stuff and haunted things as well. It's a really interesting game, and it has a rockin' soundtrack. It has these like kind of punk and like ska songs in the soundtrack, as well as some like spooky kind of vibes for the like horror parts. So I listened to all of it. Unfortunately, it took a long time because of all the ads on everything. But I picked this song. It was actually the first song in the playlist. It's called Punk Rock Vupiska or something. And it's like a little punk jam. It's like a little rock thing with guitar and drums and bass. It doesn't have any vocals. And I put that into Logic, into an audio track, and I chopped and rearranged the guitar melody. There's like the chords bit that I made into like a thing, and there was a solo which I made into like a little lead intro. And for references, I was going back to the songs Tear It Out by Alec Empire, as it has like don't know if it's a sample or him playing it, but it's like a guitar melody that kind of reminded me of the Sharpshooter soundtrack, so I kept that in my mind that I wanted to do something like that. And I was also listening to the song Gimme Nightcore All Night Long by Ekator, because it also has like a little power chord punky melody that just like repeats and stuff. So I kept going back to those for like inspiration, and that was all I did with that. I just chopped up some of it, so it's like a minute long total so far. But next time I'm definitely gonna add drums. I think I can get on with it properly now. This Thursday, I was kind of procrastinating. I was just doing everything pretty slow. After I finished I Love Weed, I didn't really know where to start, I didn't know where to go. And I just couldn't be bothered, kinda. And also the thought that I had to do written work, research, in my mind was just making me feel even worse. So overall this day was, I think it's good that I started a new song and I kind of know what I want to do with it. I have some inspiration and there's like a clear vibe that I want. But doing it was kind of slow and I'm not that happy with the product, but it's not that much yet. So I think the more I add, the more I will like it and the better it will sound. So this shows my songwriting, technology, mixing, mastering skills. But my focus, my ready to learnness needs to be improved. So overall this week I think could have been better. Because I also still haven't done any research, so I'm overdue the I Love Speed listening analysis from last week, and then this week it's the Alec Empire songwriting and production techniques research. That I think it would help me a lot, but I actually can't bring myself to do any written work. It's actually a struggle. I actually don't know what to do. Usually I would say, I can improve this by this and this, but every time I say that about my organization and timekeeping skills, I'm just lying, saying like, oh, I do work late. To improve this, I can set a schedule and plan when I'm gonna do every piece of work, so I know exactly when I have to do it. But that is not gonna do anything for me. I'm gonna see that and I'm just gonna ignore it. So I don't know how to bring myself to do this written work, unless I guess Mark or Ryan said that we need to finish it now and show all the research work we've done so far, or we're not gonna pass. I think that's the only thing that would actually get me to do it right now in time. So I kind of have a feeling that I'm going to do all the practical work and then cram in all the research work after I've finished the EP, which is, it just defeats the point of doing the research because it's supposed to help the songwriting and everything else, I guess, but I don't know what to do about this. So hopefully the research isn't that important to my project. I guess. This is kind of scaring me. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the other day. Me and Noyes were just hanging out and we started a song together, but he kind of wrote most of it. I would give my ideas and stuff, but I'm really just watching what he does. And I wanted to add a chopped up break at some point. And he put the sample in the audio track, and instead of doing it how I've been doing, which was chopping up, like, so it's each individual drum isolated and then moving them over and then rearranging them one by one and having it out of time and taking ages and not sounding good. He was just had the audio track and he would only splice it sometimes, like move stuff around, and he showed me this technique where if you cut it really fine, it sounds like a glitch. So I'm definitely going to use that. And seeing this kind of made me learn, so now I feel like I can do it. And also, he showed me that everything has to be on grid, so it actually is in time and sounds good. I don't know how I didn't realise this, maybe I'm just dumb, but it was like, oh, I get it now. So I think now, that experience, that was my workshop. I think I need to do some more like composition stuff, more producing with noise outside of college so that I can learn the techniques and stuff. I think this was way more helpful than a workshop personally. But yeah, I will take that experience into next week, into my composing, and I'm gonna do it, but I'm probably still not gonna do any written work. I don't even know what the research for next week was. I think it was supposed to be like metal guitar research, but that sounds kind of useless now. Anyway, that was my FMP week 2 video journal. See you next time. Oh, also I haven't added anything to Wix. See you next time.